Hi friends, today we are going to be doing another how-to tutorial, and today's how-to tutorial is how to draw Goku. I chose Goku because I just happened to be wearing my Dragon Ball Z shirt today, and I think he's pretty awesome. So, that's what we will be doing today. But if you're like, oh man, I just really hate Goku, or I'm just not into that, or if you do like Goku, either way, make sure you drop some comments, and in the future, I can try to, so say if you drop the comment like, oh, I really want to draw this superhero or this cartoon character or anything like that, you can leave me comments of what we should draw next, and if I think I can do it, I'll do it. If not, if you're like, hey, draw me like a life-size picture of Spider-Man, probably not gonna happen, man. Sorry. Alright, but let's get on with today's. So, usually whenever I do drawing tutorials, I start with the eyes. So, Goku has a lot of different eyes, but we're going to draw his younger self's eyes. So, they're a little cartoony. It's like, we're going to take, let's see. So, usually when I start, I draw a dot that I can see, so very light, in the middle of my paper, and I put my index finger. So see? So, and then I keep my index finger there, and I draw a line. So we're going to draw a straight line on one side of our index finger. So straight line. So now, if you leave your index finger there, it gives you enough space. We're going to draw a straight line on the other side of it. Alright, so we should have two straight lines. So now his eyes are going to do a little loop. So they're going to loop around. So they're a little cartoony. So we are going to take one side and kind of make a hook like that. And you leave an opening. We're not going to connect it, and you'll see why. So everything generally when you're drawing is symmetrical. So that's why you want to do one side and do the other side. So then take the other eye, and you're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to go to the other side, and we're going to try to make it the same size and do a little loop. Alright, so you should have two little loops like that. So now with that opening, that's where we're going to put his eyes. And it sounds weird, but you'll see. So Goku has kind of like oval eyes in his younger days. So see? And we're going to color in those black. So once you draw those, we're going to color them in black. And I should have said this in the beginning, but try to use a pencil. I always use a pencil because I actually mess up a lot while drawing. I will probably have to erase during this tutorial. And it doesn't matter what you're actually drawing on as long as it's not the walls. So if you have like a blank piece of paper like I do, or if you have notebook paper, either way, it's totally fine. It could be cardboard, it could be outside with chalk. Either way, just don't draw on anything that's going to get me in trouble. Alright, so now we have both of his eyes. So next we're going to move on to his nose. So Goku's nose is actually pretty close to his eyes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come down a little bit right in the middle. And he kind of has like a little, like, it's like a V, but spaced out a lot. So instead of like a pointy V, it's kind of like spaced out a lot. So I'll start you guys out. So just kind of draw like a slanted line like that, and then the bottom, just make a little hook, and then on the inside just draw a little line as for his nostril. So if he was like turned to the side or something, you'd be able to see his nostril like you can see mine. So we have his eyes, his nose. So underneath his nose is his mouth. So usually Goku has a lot of expressions actually. But his most common ones that are drawn is he has a frowny face and he has a smirk where just one side of his mouth comes up like that. And then he, of course, has ones with his teeth showing. Today we're just going to draw his classic smirk. So it's actually pretty easy because we're just going to draw a straight line. So a straight line right under his nose. So like right now it just kind of looks like meh. And then on one end we're going to bring it up. Just a little line to bring it up. So it makes that expression. So bring it up. See? Now it looks like he's kind of smirking. And then to give it a little bit more pizzazz, draw like a little V over it. And then right underneath his lip, you can draw a line. So see how like my chin has that line? That's what we're going for on Goku's. So those are just little parts that can add more detail to your picture. And another easy way is we can draw lines under his eyes. So a lot of people have lines under their eyes. I do. And I mean, mine are from, drinking too much coffee and whatnot. But Goku is probably from training. So we can just draw two kind of straight lines right under his eyes. And then what we'll do is next we'll do his eyebrows. So his eyebrows just follow along with his eyes. So they kind of just make perfect little loops around. They're kind of like that, right over his eyes. So I will draw one and show it to you guys. So see how it follows along right with his eye. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right. So Goku actually has pretty thick eyebrows. They're really, really thick. I mean, from here you can see it. Those are like caterpillars for eyebrows. So we're gonna thicken it up. So we're gonna start from near their eye, like near his eyes. So you're gonna make like a little V coming off. And then you're going to take that and you're going to follow it all the way up to the top of the eyebrow. So we're going to do that on both of them. So what I mean by that is you just make that. So you're just kind of like drawing the eyebrow twice almost. And then we're going to connect the ends. See how I connected the ends? And what we're going to do is we're going to draw the inside of those eyebrows in black. So go ahead and draw yours in black. We make them black because Goku, in his original form, has black hair. Usually your eyebrows match your hair color. Unless you dye it purple or blue or something, then they might not match. Alrighty, so now we have the eyebrows, the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. So next we're going to move on to the jaw. So everyone has like a jaw line. So it usually comes down and then by your mouth it kind of makes like it connects into your chin. So it's like doot doot. So what I do is I start on one side. So I'm going to start on the right side. So on the right side of his eye, I'm going to draw a slanted line. So I will draw that and show it to you guys so you see what I mean. So, see, I started at the bottom of his eye and I drew a slanted line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the other side and I'm going to draw another slanted line. So it makes two jaw lines. So sometimes I have to end up erasing a lot when I draw his face or anyone's face, because sometimes you can accidentally make it like really sucked in or like really wide, or it'll just kind of look a little silly. So it's okay if you have to erase. So I'm going to leave mine. So right now it looks like he has a weird kind of face. So to fix that, we're going to put a dot. We're going to put a little dot, and that's going to be where the end of our chin is. So then that way we know where to connect those two lines. So I'm going to put a dot, and then I'm going to connect his chin. So like I was saying, they can kind of have like a pointy face. So mine has a little bit of a pointy face. But once we draw in like the ears and the hair, it won't be so bad. You won't be able to really tell. So ears are usually, ears and hands and even eyes can sometimes scare people away from drawing. Ears are actually not as bad as they're made out to be. So what we're going to do is at where the bottom of his like eyes are, we're going to make lines coming out. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to make 2 slanted lines coming out just like that. And you want to do them both at the same time, remember, because you want it to be symmetrical. You don't want one ear to be way down here and the one to be way up here. And then we're going to curve the ends of it. So see how it's curved like that? That's going to be the top of his ear where it curves. And then we're going to fill in the little crevices. So fun fact for you guys, those little crevices are what help funnel sound into your ears. So that way you can hear different pronunciations and the way things sound. Anyways, so now, since we have that, we're going to kind of draw a slanted line down on each one. So see what I mean by that? Slanted line down. Once we have those, we're going to go ahead and connect it to his head on both sides. So, thankfully on mine, I have the same ears, like same ratio. They're at the same height. One's not too high, one's not too low. If it is, it's really okay. Usually people aren't going to notice, but if it's way up here, way down here, then people might notice. So the inside of the ears, those little crevices, I usually draw here's a really simple ear. So first we'll draw 2 lines like that. They look like kind of like creepy spider legs. So we'll do it on one ear and we'll do it on the other. So then we have creepy spider legs on both sides. Now we're going to kind of make this inner hook. So this, we'll just kind of draw like a squiggly S. So squiggly S on both sides. And that'll be the ear. There you have it. I've seen ears drawn a lot of different ways. Some people actually do make like perfect S's and kind of put like lines everywhere, and it's kind of up to you. So now that we have Goku's eyes, eyebrows, nose, mouth, his ears, we're going to move on to his hair. Aside from his muscles, I think his hair is one of his biggest features. So first, we're going to do the hair at the top before we move on to the outside parts. So for this, it's actually kind of a bunch of big, like these. So we're gonna pick an ear, and once we do that, we're just gonna pick an ear, and we'll take a line, draw it out and up. So then go ahead and do it on the other side. It doesn't have to be the same way because everyone's hair is not the exact same on both sides. Like mine, for example, kind of is because I have a really boring haircut. But a lot of people's hair, sometimes it's longer on one side, sometimes it's shorter on one side. So it's totally okay. They do not have to be the same. So that's how I started out mine. So see, on one side he kind of has those, on one side he has a big one. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow that around all the way through the top of his head. So Goku, in the middle of his forehead, he has a really cool bang part coming down a little bit. So it kind of falls into his eye, like a lot of anime characters, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a really cool one, kind of falls right into the way of his eye. So I'm going to kind of draw big and little ones coming all around. And then right in the middle, I'll give him that big one. So I kind of went ahead without you guys because it's just, think of yourself making just little up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So that is going to be the hair that comes onto his face. So now, with that, we're able to move on to the upper parts of his hair. So this part, people get kind of scared as well, but it's easier than it looks. So, on both ends of his ear, we're just going to draw a straight line out on both sides. We just have a straight line coming out. So, now, we're going to kind of do the same thing. Now we're just going to make little kind of sloppy V's. And we're going to do it again, a big one, and then another big one. Kind of do the same on both sides. So, see how it's kind of coming out now. And we can kind of see how he's going to come together. So then he has another big one. So a lot of people draw his hair a lot of different ways. But there is one signature feature that Goku has, and it's kind of on the top of his head. He has one weird piece that kind of does a weird thing, how it sticks out. So like, just kind of sticks up, and it's not like a perfect shape. It kind of makes like a slant. So that's mainly what we want to make sure we have in our picture. So what I will do is, so he kind of has his hair, and we're going to go draw like a big straight line coming out. So big straight line coming out, and then we're going to make pretty much a straight line going across. So I'll draw that and show it to you guys. So it looks like a weird piece of hair, but that's just his signature style. And then that end kind of slopes down a little bit. Kind of slopes down a little bit. So since my page, I started kind of more, I have more space down here. His hair usually will go up a little bit higher, but mine, it's going to look a little scrunched. It's okay if your guys's does too. So then pretty much since we have that big signature feature that's going up, we just want to connect those. So you can draw like some more spiky parts kind of going. And then his hair, let's see. Okay, so you can draw some more spiky parts, and then you want to connect it, and his head kind of has like a, it comes to connect in kind of like a little circle like that. So mine, like I said, I kind of ran out of space, so his hair looks really small and scrunched. But usually there's more space between his bangs and going up to his hair. So I will fix that, but I won't fix it right now. So now we have his hair, everything else on his face. So since his hair is black, you can color that in black, and it'll look really cool. Or you don't, you can just draw like little lines on the inside like this. I'll show you guys. You can draw like little lines on the inside to give it kind of more of a look. But we're gonna move on to his neck. So since he is pretty buff, he kind of does have a big neck. So we're just gonna draw two straight lines coming right out of where his chin is. And then we will have 2 small lines coming off of it. So that's going to be part of his shirt. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect those right in the middle. So you can draw a little dot and we're going to connect them together. So boom, boom. So it'll look something like that. So then we will have kind of like 2 small arches coming off, and those are going to be part of his shirt and his shoulders. So we are going to bring those like this. So there are crevices in his shirt. And then we're going to branch off them. So see how it kind of makes his shirt and it's kind of going into his shoulder? We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we have it into the other side. And I have it arched because that's where his big kind of buff arms would go and a lot more details, but we're going to keep it simple and just keep them like this. So we're going to draw some lines coming off the neck to give it more detail. And then we're going to draw a line, we're going to draw a little dot so you can feel the middle of your collarbone. So go ahead and feel it, and they go off kind of perfectly straight. So then we're going to draw the collarbone. So he'll have a little kind of dip, and then there will be the collarbone. And let's see. You know, we will leave him at that. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in to how to draw Goku tutorial. Go ahead and show me your Gokus. That would be awesome. Hopefully you guys did a better job on the hair than I did. And I will look forward to doing more how to draw tutorials with you guys. Thank you.